This is a website called Gapminder for a fact-based worldview. It's Hans Rosling's website. It uses a tool that he developed and covers a lot of different information, although most of his interests lie in the area of population issues and statistics. He does a fantastic job of documenting his data sources. He pulls stuff from mostly United Nations data and a few other places. So I trust the data visualizations that he has available here. You're going to be playing around using his Gapminder tool. And so I wanted to take just a minute to show you how to use it because it is a little weird looking. First, you'll come to gapminder.org and you'll come here to data. And the reason we're starting here is so that you can choose the specific graphics that you're interested in. First of all, you're going to want to change this to show all indicators. They're just in alphabetical order, although you can sort by data provider, category, subcategory, so on, if you wanted to just find all the population related ones. I did it alphabetical by topic, just because that's the easiest way for me to get down to some of the things that I know I'm looking for. So in this case, it's children per woman. This is basic fertility. I could click on that to get some more information about where the data came from. Definitely more there. I could get data in Excel format, but what I want is this little icon right here, and this brings us to the data visualization tool. And there we go. It does take a minute to load. And it is a Java-based tool, which means there's the potential that it might not work on your computer, blah, blah, blah. We all know how that works. All right, so what you've got here is the children per woman, so the total fertility rate running down this axis, and then you've got a pull down here that allows you to choose all sorts of things to run along your other axis. Income per person, CO2 emissions, child mortality, life expectancy, a lot of economic. I mean, look at how many different things you can choose to make comparisons here. Population, population by age, all sorts of things. And what you're basically doing is just a bivariate comparison, total fertility rate by something else over time. And that's the part that's really interesting about this. Each of these dots represents a country. The larger the dot, the larger the size of the country, and that's just to sort of help you understand what's going on here. Should be pretty easy to get the big ones. There's China and India as the two largest countries in the world. We'll come around here to the United States. Pakistan, also a very large country. I'm looking for USSR. No, that's Brazil. It's up there. Nigeria. USSR is going to be down here. I mean, not USSR. My apologies. Russia. So anyway, that is of interest if you want to select a particular country and have its progress over time highlighted, which is always a little bit of fun. Let's pick, I don't know, we'll go with Australia. And it will highlight it out there. And then as you move through time, 1800 through 2000, whatever, you'll see the path of this one country and the relationship between children per woman and whatever other variable you've chosen. On the other hand, I can deselect all. I want to look at all of them. You click the play button to see this move over time. Now that I had it down at the there. Let's pull this back to the beginning. If it wasn't starting at the beginning, you'll notice in 1800, children per woman in the countries in which data was available, and there's fewer here in 1800 than there's going to be by the time we get to 2000. They're kind of clumped up here. We've got total fertility rates kind of running in the 4 to 8 range, and income per person, inflation adjusted, fairly low down here. So now let's watch this change over time. Things bounce, countries bounce around as their GDP goes up and down, as their total fertility rate varies over time. You'll see big jumps happen whenever more data becomes available. We're starting to see more countries coming in, more little dots. We're also starting to see things move out. We're seeing two things happening here. We're seeing fertility drop, and we're seeing income go up. Now, this is not implying causality. It's just showing that they're related here. Watch China bounce all over the place in terms of GDP and fertility rate. But generally now, once you cross about 2000, you see things head in this kind of a line where the higher fertility is fairly clumped up over here in the lower GDP, with most of the rest of the world's countries falling down here with a lower total fertility rate and a whole range of GDPs. Keep in mind as you're watching that the color also indicates the continent. So Africa, blue, North and South America, yellow, Asia and the Pacific in red. This is not necessarily clumping these up by some particular factor. It's very geographic in nature. Although for some reason they have the Middle East and North Africa as something separate from areas around it, that's okay. Anyway, that is how you use the data visualizer in the Gapminder World tool. I'm going to go back with my browser. Actually didn't really do what I wanted it to do. Oh, that's right, because it spawned a new window, as you can see up here. Back to data, and I'm just looking to see if there's anything else that I'm interested in. That's children per woman. This is children per woman total fertility with projections, which is kind of fun. I believe it goes out to 2050, and it lets you see what's going to happen. So it would be nice to look at that also. And there goes my windows messing with me, and it's gone. There, contraception use. That's the one I was looking for. This just tells me where it gets information from, all that stuff, and then I want to come over here and look at the data, the Gapminder, and this is going to give us a rate of contraception use by whatever variables we want to choose from. So this is just the percentage of women in childbearing ages who use contraception of any type to the best that they know. Children per woman, CO2 emissions, all sorts of fun stuff here. I'm just going to go to the relationship between contraception use and fertility. We know logically there's going to be a relationship, but it's kind of fun to watch it play out over time. Now here we only have data beginning in oops, I gotta scoot that back again. Beginning in 1970, no big surprise, and we'll just see, we got some more tables added in. Children per woman is down here, so we're watching that. Oops, it's gone already. I don't want it to be gone. There we go. We see, in general, a fairly striking relationship between the use of contraception and total fertility rate. Less contraception use, higher fertility rates. So that is how you use the Gapminder tool. In the next step in this module, you're going to be asked to do some things with this Gapminder tool.